Yo!
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
No, not you. You. Yes,
I'm
you.
doing good.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
We're playing Highway Blossoms because I recently played a Studio Élan title on my own time, and I found it could be quite enjoyable. And I wanted to play another one with you.
Let's do it.
It was Heart of the Woods is the one that I played. It came out on Switch, and I very much enjoyed my time with that story. So I was like, we should get back and play another one of these titles from this crew, and we are. Start a new game. If you don't know what to expect, well,
You will.
you'll get a feel for it pretty quick on. Don't you worry. Associated with the Sekai project. All right. I love this intro sequence. They're a big... Oh, look at that camera focus fakery. I love it. I love this. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the nice musical interlude here. I like the pre-credits too. Can I be this person since they look like they don't like they've just had enough of everything, and that is my vibe. Remember, there are two characters in every Yuri: the one who just doesn't have enough, who's had enough of this shit, and the one who's just way too over. Oh, the music ends, and the cassette clicks to a stop. I've listened to it so many times, I've even memorized the placement of the static from the song's original broadcasts. Wait, actual tape recording?
Yeah.
Recording tapes off the radio?
Yeah.
God, I remember doing that back in the 90s. Jesus.
Do you remember rock and roll radio?
What? I'm worried the deck might eventually eat the tape, but it never happened to him no matter how many times he played the damn thing, so I'm not too scared. It used to drive me crazy. Every day he played it over and over again. Sure, he'd throw on something different after a few loops, but soon enough he'd switch back and the cycle would repeat itself. Sometimes I think he would do it just to mess with me. I would be in the back in bed, smothering a pillow over my head to block out the music. He would just turn it up louder, even during all-nighters. That was so like him. Even near the end, when we finally had to settle down, he was still pulling that kind of crap. I'd come home from school sometimes, the police would be at the door because the entire block had called in a noise complaint. He said it was because he was hard of hearing, but I know he did it just to get a rise out of the old grouches who lived nearby. I think that was his worst fear, ending up just another bitter sack of bones. So he did everything in his power to be the exact opposite right up until the end. Of course, that meant I would always deal with the fallout. I can't imagine what the neighbors thought, seeing a little girl go door to door, apologizing because some old man decided it would be funny to put plastic flamingos all over their award-winning lawns.
Okay, but that is funny.
That is objectively funny. I can't help but smile, just a little, even if it does hurt. I take a sip of my coffee. Outside, a heat haze shimmers over the never-ending oceans of sand. So much desert. Even Roswell was just rock, sand, and a few shacks. All alien-themed, of course. Didn't see any UFOs, though. Not used to how dry everything is. Even with the AC on high enough to rip off my eyebrows, I'm still all sweaty. Guess that's what happens when you laze around in snowy Colorado for a decade. In that regard, the desert is a nice change of scenery. I don't exactly hate it. New sights are nice, especially since his health didn't allow him to do a lot of traveling when I was a little girl. I could see myself getting used to this. Well, maybe in another 15 years when I have everything paid off. Damn it, Amber, snap out of it. You can worry about that later. This isn't your trip, so stop being so selfish. I push the eject button. I take the tape out and look it over. Probably for the 20th time today. Oh, we got a gallery. Okay.
Interesting.
Years worth of brown stains and greasy fingerprints are smudged all over, making it feel grimy to the touch. Still works like a charm, though. There are more cassettes in the glove compartment. A mixture of mine and his. Mostly his. I should just play one of those and get it over with. My hand gravitates towards the latch. It would be okay, right? No. I snatch my hand away from the latch and flip the tape over. Once again, I find myself staring. With a sigh, I stick it back into the deck and reach towards the play button, taking another look to see if the road is still clear. Like always, it... Isn't? I slam on the brakes, their shriek piercing my skull. A glance at my rearview mirror shows a girl cringing next to an ancient-looking car, covering her ears as I screech down the road. Making a U-turn of dubious legality, I pull up in front of her car, killing the motorhome's engine. I hop out and shield my eyes from the blazing New Mexico sun. Only now do I realize how precious the AC really is. It doesn't take more than several steps before the girl comes bouncing up to me with a look of relief.
Oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was starting to think no one would ever stop.
With each word, she gets a little closer until finally we're within touching distance of each other, her smiling face now filling my entire field of vision. Her bright auburn hair is done into a girlish side tail, glistening beneath specks of sweat. Standing out in the heat has made her round, pale cheeks a sun-kissed red. But she still looks put together, like the desert would sooner melt her than do any real damage to her looks. I almost feel embarrassed to be in front of someone who dresses so cutely. Frilly green top and skirt, putting my red t-shirt and khakis to shame.
Just slowly sidling closer.
It's all brought together by one thing, though. Her eyes. They're blue, vividly blue. Deep and rich, complementing the traces of her misty perfume as she gets closer and closer. Too close, too close, too close, too close! I scramble back and cough, trying to hide any awkwardness. No problem. No problem. What's she doing out here alone? Driving through? Hell, is she even alone? I peer off into the plains on the side of the road, half expecting a guy to pop up from his hiding place now that some idiot has fallen for their trap. That idiot being me, of course. But, much to my surprise, no one does. Instead, the girl continues to stare at me, smiling as she patiently awaits for my response. I glance behind her, focusing on her car. So, what's the issue? Did your car break down?
I think so, yeah. I was driving and I just kinda...
Stopped?
Yeah.
She lowers her head in shame, eyes fixated on her feet, kicking the dust around her. I'm not much of a car buff, but I can take a look at it. Her head pops up and back up and life returns to her eyes.
Oh wow, could you?
Yeah, can't promise that I can do anything, but I can at least check it out.
That'd be great.
Alright, first things first then. This thing looks even older than my motorhome. It was probably a nice car once upon a time, but with a dented grille, multiple scratches, and faded murky green color, it's hard to believe such a cute girl was driving it. I love her like she's doing the pose. You know, the pose. I slide into the fabric seat and start the ignition. I don't know too much about how this stuff works, just enough to keep the motorhome from giving out, but I can't imagine it's too significant of an issue. It's probably just a dead battery or... No gas. A single car passes by, cooling us with a refreshing gust of wind sprinkled with dirt and sand.
Is something wrong?
Is this a joke?
Oh no, did I break it?
No, it's just out of gas.
What? No way! Dad said I should have filled up before I left.
Is she for real? Why is this girl in the middle of nowhere by herself? As if trying to force all the ideas into the center of her brain, the girl grabs her head and whines under her breath.
Oh man, and I didn't charge my phone either. What am I gonna do?
I'd offer her mine, but I've never had a cell phone in my life. Rock on. Seems like you'd have to be pretty absent-minded to forget that, though. She whines once more and turns to me.
Hey, this might seem a little weird.
But here's my number.
Call me maybe.
Oh no.
But could you take me somewhere nearby so I can get some gas?
And what do you know? She actually did it. How long did you say you've been stuck out here?
I don't know, a few hours maybe. I've been trying to wave down everyone who drives by, but you were the first to stop.
Hold on. Everyone?
Yep.
This heat must have fried her brain. Does she have any idea how dangerous that is? That's probably not a good idea, you know. She cocks her head to the side and gives me a look of genuine curiosity. Like it wasn't obvious or something.
Huh? Why?
Well, you know, a cute young girl alone in the middle of the desert, it's just asking for trouble.
I love trouble. Anyway, but you're a cute young girl alone in the middle of the desert.
Wait, hold on. Can we revisit that real quick? like in a prepare for trouble, make it double kind of sense?
Sure, let's go with that.
Wait, what? Her comeback takes me off guard and I turn away a little, avoiding eye contact. Yeah, but that's different. Shut up. A smile returns to her face, the same bright one that she showed me when I first pulled over. I'm still avoiding eye contact, but she leans over to the direction I'm looking and continues to smile.
So, do you think you can give me a ride?
I don't know.
Please, it shouldn't take very long.
This girl, it's like she didn't even listen to what I said. Also, can we point out the sound direction having like the cars very occasionally swish by in the background as we're like, that's so nice. I love that. Still, better me than some psycho. Besides, it's not like a small detour will make me late or anything. I guess it's fine. I'm not in too big of a rush anyway.
Yay!
Before I'm even finished, she's springing off the ground, bouncing to the motorhome. Hey, wait! But it's already far too late, as she's somehow made her way into the motorhome before its owner, even finding the time to give me a small wave from the passenger seat. I heave a heavy sigh, rubbing my temple as I climb back up into the driver's seat. The key is still dangling in the ignition. I wrench it around and the motorhome roars to life, forcing a surprised squeak out of the girl. Thank you. Look at that bit.
By the way, my name is Marina. Thank you so much for helping me out.
You know the vibe I'm getting from these two, right?
Yeah?
Yeah. So I've just finished rereading The Other Side Picnic light novels, which I highly recommend. And I am getting very much a vibe from these. I know this came out, I think this came out before, but still. Big vibe. And I love it. I love the dynamic. Amber, don't mention it. Literally, don't mention it. You never saw me. You shall never acknowledge me.
All right. That seems weird. I
That's
like
normal.
weird.
Careful not to hit her car, I back the RV up and turn it around, sending us in my original direction. I reach for the play button on the cassette player, finally giving in to temptation, but Marina starts up again.
Why aren't we going the other way? Wasn't there a station a little ways back?
It was more than a little ways back. I saw a sign a few miles ago that said there was a station not too far from here, so we're going there.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that. You're really observant.
Yeah, or you're just really oblivious. Not really. Silence falls between us, the roaring of the engines and the swishing of the wind from outside being the only sounds. I take that as my cue and reach for the cassette player once more, finally giving.
How do you even drive this thing? It's huge.
Marina spreads her arms out like an eagle, unfurling its wings, almost bopping me on the head in the process. No, do not fully work that. She fully worked that. I clear my throat and grab her arm from the air, gently placing it on her lap. See, but no one's ever going to hear those noises anymore. Now that these microphones will only pick up very specific... Like, we worked hard to make sure we wouldn't get extraneous sounds in here, and now you're all like, what if we did the subtle arm motion so no one can hear them, huh? Huh? Isn't that a great use of our time? It's not that bad. You get used to it. She tilts her head to the side and gives a light grunt of as if saying, that's so, and we return to the silence of before. Again, I reach for the cassette play.
So, what are you doing out here? Are you going camping? Seems like what you're doing is fun.
I take a deep breath and hold it on as long as possible before letting it out. Just traveling. What about you? Why are you out here?
Oh, well, it's kind of silly.
She scratches her head and lets out an embarrassed laugh before staring at her feet. She quiets down and, surprisingly, stays quiet. Oh, looks like that worked. I reach for the cassette player one last time. I stop for a moment to look at the glove compartment, and then Marina, who looks lost in thought. Finally, I press play. Oh! Nice. A pleasant little chime greets me as I enter the station, Marina trailing closely behind. The drive was quiet after I turned the music on. Turning the tables on her and asking what she was doing out there seemed to throw her off. I didn't mean to come off as cold as I did. It's just been ages since I've had a conversation beyond accepting some half-hearted condolences. Though, to be fair, I haven't really wanted to hold one. The guy behind the counter is busy ringing someone up, so I set out in search of a gas can. The store is one of those big mini-mart places made specifically for travelers. It's surprisingly clean for a place surrounded by sand. Every corner has an unnatural sanitary shine, accompanied by the scent of citrus cleaning product.
Hey, they have the cola flavor here.
They have cola-flavored gas?
Yeah.
I turn and find Marina clutching the slushy machine, her eyes widening like a cat's when tempted with yarn. Don't most gas stations have that? She shakes her head, but doesn't take her eyes off the machine.
All the places back home only had cherry and raspberry. When we got sick of them, we just had to mix them together. But...
Marina finally turns to me, wearing a face of pure, concentrated sadness.
I left my wallet in the car.
Ah! It's the saddest thing I've ever seen. Just looking at her, I can feel my heart Wait a second. How were you expecting to pay for the gas?
I don't know. I just remember.
How did she last 5 minutes out in the desert? Fine, I guess I'll pay for it.
Really?
Yeah, and grab yourself one of those slushies too. But make it a small one. Her pure, concentrated sadness melts into pure, concentrated happiness.
You're the best, Amber.
She grabs a cup and holds down the button until the slushie overflows and drips down the side. I was going to pay for the gas anyway, but I'm hoping the drink makes up for the drive over. I spot the gas cans, and with Marina happily sipping her drink, grab one and head for the counter.
I wonder how we see that gallery.
The guy at the register is still ringing up the same girl. Lines of flimsy plastic bags line the counter, filled with a mixture of off-brand junk food and gardening tools. He scans the items as the girl digs through her wallet, her bandana-wrapped head pressing a phone against her shoulder.
Aren't you supposed to be the badass mechanic? What good are you if you're not?
She swipes out a card and hands it to the cashier, more interested in staring at her nails than looking at him.
How the hell would I know? Have the squirt check underneath it if you're so curious.
On the other end of the line, I can hear the faintest of squabbling. I can't make out anything they're saying, but the tone sounds worlds more tolerable than the girl's.
If it's that old, then I say do it. Cash is cash. It's not like anyone's gonna care.
Oh no. Did they find... You think they found her car?
You better not take as long as last time, though. I'll be waiting for you slackers outside.
The girl slips her phone back into the crevices of her dangerously unzipped jumpsuit. What little clothing she has on underneath looks like it's going to burst from the slightest movement. Not my type, especially with that personality, but it's hard for me to do anything other than stare. The attendant reaches out to help with the bags, but the girl snaps them away before he can. She shoots him with a heated glare that burns straight through the man and into the wall behind him. Turning around, the girl looks at us for a second before rolling her eyes, then marches out the door, the bags weighing her down as they nearly scrape the ground. Yeah, definitely not my type.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, here's the... Oh, that tells us the name of the track that's playing.
Interesting.
Oh, this is just the pause menu.
Are those clickable things?
No. This is just... Huh. I wonder if this is how far along we've come.
I bet it is. I really got to wonder about that
The gallery?
gallery thing.
We'll
What
check
if we...
We'll check it out at the end of the episode because I bet.
Okay.
I bet it's like a CG gallery or something. Somewhere.
Okay.
Good luck. Marina and I set the can on the empty slushy and the nearly empty slushy on the counter. Will that be all? Yeah, sorry. For more boring than that other girl. The attendant hacks out a dry cackle and scans the gas can. He flicks his oily ponytail behind his shoulder, then rings up Marina's drink. Been a lot of folks passing through and stocking up the past few days. Been a good change of pace. I'm guessing that's why you girls are here too? Marina eases in towards the counter, nudging herself tightly between me and a rack, her hands creeping over to the slushy. For what? I'm just heading out to California. If I don't end up driving myself insane first. You mean you don't know? The attendant freezes, forgetting about the scanner in his hand. Blinding red light beams from it onto my chest. About what? Why, the treasure! Marina's hands stop just shy of grabbing the cup. Treasure? The clerk's chubby face morphs into a grin. You telling me you girls haven't heard of the treasure in the journal?
I have.
Of course you have. Of course she has. I frown. Embarrassed, Marina looks at the floor again, her cheeks flushing red. I guess she's always just this forward.
Well, I heard about it on the news. It's kind of why I drove down here.
Ah. You drove out into the middle of the desert for treasure. Sorry, but you've lost me. Not just any treasure, Missy. The miner's treasure. He says it like that should clarify what he meant. I stare at him. He stares back. Marina sips the last dregs of her slushy. I love awkward stares. You honestly don't know? Not a clue. Are you going to change that? A little feisty, ain't you? Not really. I just have stuff to do. Fair enough. A while back, some folks were going through all the trash in their garage. As fate would have it, they came across an old journal. Turns out the thing belonged to their great-uncle, or maybe it was their great-grandfather. I don't know, some dead old man. I cut him off with a cough. A polite hint for him to either get on with it or quit his yammering. Despite apparently knowing all this, Marina continues to stay focused with rapt attention. Sometimes her drink makes that annoying slurping sound again. Hold on. I got you. Sorry, I'll try keeping it short. Anyway, after flipping through it, they found out he'd stuck it rich during the gold rush. If he struck it rich, then wouldn't the family know about it? They'd have to be plenty well off, right?
Oh, I can answer that. He went back home to Missouri without any gold and told all his friends he hid it.
Oh, I see. This is a Monte Cristo scenario, is it?
Yeah.
By now, the slushy is all gone. Marina tries for one last sip, but all that's sucked through the straw is air. She peers down into the cup and blows out a small sigh.
No one believed him, though.
I raise an eyebrow. Even if this girl knows about it, then I must be more out of the loop than I thought. Well now, it's that the sisters here have been doing a research.
Mm-hmm.
The attendant leads into the counter and smirks. Story goes, he wanted to eventually move his family out west and dig his gold back up along the way, but kicked it before he could. He slides his thumb along his neck and makes a cheesy sound effect to go with it. Marina giggles, but I just keep staring. No, like it's like she's trying to do like the decapitation thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how to do that over audio, so just imagine me doing that. Folks around that found the journal ended up selling it to some local hotshot publishing house. Now everyone wants to retrace his steps and find the treasure. Shipments have been selling like hotcakes. Just got ours last week. Treasures of the Desert, a miner's journey. He points to a rack of identical books sitting by the door. A sign hanging above it reads, Treasure of the Desert, a miner's journey. Take part in the new gold rush.
I see, we're leading in.
I mean, yeah, that'll stick in people's heads. And people are really buying into this?
Sure are. Worked here for over 20 years. And I'd never seen this many people passing through. Even the banshee before you here was here for some supplies and a journal.
Sure, okay, this is a hoax if I've ever seen one. And where is this supposed treasure?
No one knows. Dup-da-da-dup, dup-da-da-dup. Not a fan of Queens of the Stone Age? Alright. Scattered all around the desert. They say the journal has hints to its whereabouts.
Uh-huh. Let me guess, we need to solve an epitaph as well or something? Marina, you said this is why you drove out here?
Yep, that's right.
I instantly believe you. But you don't really believe the treasure exists, do you? My God, he's got me doing it!
Sure I do. It's in a book, silly.
She pauses to think.
At least I want to. Wouldn't it be super cool if there was treasure?
If there was what?
Treasure?
If there was what?
Treasure.
I don't know what that is. Sure would be cool. But there's a good chance it isn't. And even if there were, do you know where to start looking?
No, not really. I never got that far. I don't even have a copy of the journal.
You wandered out into the middle of the desert without a plan in order to dig up treasure that you don't know the location of.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my God, how are you alive?
I know, right?
She lowers her head like she knows there's a good chance what I'm saying is true.
But I have to try.
Her voice is soft and quiet, but there's a faint glow of determination behind it. It makes me feel ashamed for scolding, but the idea that she dropped everything just for treasure is insane. To her credit, she did a little research, but that's canceled out by driving into the desert without a full tank of gas. She wasn't prepared at all. The people who care about her must be worried sick. I barely even know her, and I'm worried.
Ah, don't be too hard on her, Missy. After all, who can resist a good treasure hunt?
He looks to Marina and gives a big gummy grin, courtesy of his missing teeth.
Ain't that right, sister?
Marina springs back with a smile of her own.
That's right. Meow. That's right.
I knew it was a Pokemon thing. Rolling my eyes, I reach into my pocket and pass some crumpled bills to the clerk. Yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it. He shrugs and stuffs the cash in the register, though now I'm just paying for the tank in an empty cup. I pocket the change. I give a casual wave from the exit that should be a good enough thank you. Marina follows, though a bit more animated, waving her arm like a fan as she says goodbye.
Oh, and sister,
Yeah?
you go ahead and take one of them there journals. Free of charge.
Really?
Marina lights up like a firecracker and bounces up and down like she's a kid again.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Thanks, mister.
In one swift motion, she swipes one of the remaining books off the rack so fast that I swear my eyes are skipping frames.
Hey, Amber, look. He
I-
gave me one for free.
I can see that. I was there. Yeah, I see it. I tune out her chattering and nod as we walk out to the parking lot so we can finally get the fuel.
Hey, Amber, can you teach me to read this?
Okay, so can and will are two different...
So you can.
The attendant shouts one last thing, his voice fading behind the glass of the closing door.
And good luck on your trip.
Desert people are weird. No way.
Maybe it's further up the road.
Oh, shites. Sorry, Mike. Didn't mean to hit you that badly. We're still getting used to how to deal with our new microphones here, but... And yes, I did rename mine. It's Mike now. My favorite. You were still Michaela?
Yeah.
Nice. I can't believe it. It's gone.
We could have just passed it.
We weren't even away that long. How can it be gone? We stare at the empty space that once housed a certain ugly green car. I look in every conceivable direction, but there's nothing but an ocean of sand and a never-ending stretch of road. Was it Toad? No, not out here, not this quick. Where the hell did it go?
Yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it?
How are you not more angry about this?
I know, right?
Marina's hand rests against her cheek as she looks on with only mild confusion, like she's trying to solve a small mystery. Your car is missing! That's more than a little weird!
Well, it's actually my big brother's car. He just lent it to me when he left for college.
That's even worse. Oh, you're right. That makes everything better then.
Oh, it does? Sweet.
No! No, it doesn't make everything better. I let out a heavy sigh and pressed my fingers into my temple, attempting to massage away the stress and irritation. It was probably stolen. We'll need to call the police. You have a phone, right? Oh, I just remembered.
I do, but...
Her voice trails off a cliff. What she said earlier echoes in my head. I need to stop hitting the wrong button there by accident. That's right, you said it was dead. I'm guessing you left it in your car?
Yeah.
Well, that's just great. Look at how happy I am.
Don't you have one?
No! Nope, never needed one.
Afraid no one would call you?
What kind of... Who are you, my therapist?
I could be.
Let's table that. Not quite. I shield my eyes and look up at the dry sky. Its color has shifted to a glowing orange as sunset begins to settle over the distant valley peaks. Did you see that the sky was actually...
Yeah.
That's... I really like the effects in this game. That's so good. It's going to get dark pretty soon.
Don't worry, Amber. I'd call you.
Well, I can't just leave her. I can, but probably shouldn't. But I could. Oh, I really could. Even if she did have her phone, it would take forever before anyone could get out here. She'd go from burning up in the heat to freezing out in the cold within a few hours. Plus, if there are people around who could steal cars, then there's no telling who else is out here. I can already see how all this would go down. She would be huddled on the side of the road, trying to keep warm. A pack of coyotes would be howling all around her, closing in. Then, from down the road, a starved creep would pull up in a trashy old pickup truck, open his door for her, and... Oh, God. Hey, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I'm from Carlsbad.
She pauses for a moment.
Or at least kind of close to it. It's a little out of the way.
Carlsbad. Why do I remember that vaguely being out west? 'Cause I remember one time when I was younger, I went to the Carlsbad Caverns. Let me just take a look where that's at.
Were they bad?
Oh, fine.
They should rename it then.
Carlsbad Caverns National Park.
Carlsbad.
Is in New Mexico. Is that actually where Carlsbad? It is. Yes. Okay. That is still New Mexico. Cool. There you go. Factoid.
Doesn't seem like this one is.
Carlsbad. You're from California.
No, silly. Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Apparently, there's also Carlsbad in California. Oh. Right. Sure. Totes. I'd be going there for a second. How far is that?
Maybe 2 hours from here?
Wow, you didn't get very far at all, did you? Marina lowers her head in shame.
I never really seem to.
I do not have time to unpack that for you. Though I'm not really one to talk. Though I'm not really one to talk. I've been on the road less than a day. Would have gotten farther if traffic on the I-40 wasn't such a pain in the butt, or if I didn't pick up Marina. Hey, listen. You don't live too far away. If you want, I can probably give you a lift back home. I prep myself for an explosion of thankful energy and excitement, but there isn't one. Instead, she continues to stare at the ground, her hands now balled up in a fist as she fidgets ever so slightly. Is there something wrong?
What if you gave me a ride, like, really far in the opposite direction?
Oh. I'm beginning to understand more of the situation now. She shifts her gaze from the ground and looks at me straight in the eyes, drawing a deep, long breath.
Remember the treasure we were talking about at the store?
No, but I do remember the treasure.
Oh. I know it's a lot to ask, and you've already helped me out so much already. But do you think you could take me to the first place the treasure is?
Huh? She wants to keep going even after this entire disaster?
The treasure. Could you take me to the first?
I heard you the first time. It's just... You don't even know if this thing is real, but you've dropped everything to go look for it. And now you're asking me, someone you've just met out in the middle of the desert, to take you to it.
I'll give you some of the treasure.
That's not the point here. Even though if you don't know if it's real, and you just had your car stolen. Did I catch all of that?
Uh-huh.
Shameless. I'm at a loss for words. How do I even respond to that? I try to recollect my thoughts, but only one word comes to mind. Why?
Huh?
Marina shrugs. Nothing more than that. She just shrugs. And take a look at her. A good look. Her wavy hair has been dried out by the hot desert air. Her face is red and drenched in sweat, probably close to melting off her makeup. Even her nice clothes are a little ruffled. But despite all of that, this cute, peppy girl wants to keep pressing on. Even when most people would have just called it quits after the car broke down. Even out here all by herself. For all I know, she could be some weirdo out to mug me. This is all some elaborate scheme. But she wants my help. My help. It's been a while since anyone has needed that. It's like an honor. Do I deserve that? Probably not. But she's still asking. Why should I say no? I don't have to be in California for another few weeks, and isn't that why I'm taking this trip? To see the sights. For him. She's a little excitable and even more naive, but maybe I need a little bit of that. It's a lot better than just being out here all by myself with nothing but the ghosts of my memories to keep me company. Even if it's just for a little while. Why the hell not? Hop in.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Oh, people usually don't say yes.
Never mind. I committed. But only until the first location. After that, the breath is forced out of me by the sharp impact of Marina tackling my stomach. A warm but damp sensation wraps itself tightly around me as dead weight snuggles up against my chest. Do not fully work it. There are too many cables in the way.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
I'm hugging you, silly.
My cheeks grow warmer with each passing second. I try to wiggle my way out, but she stays latched on, her grip getting tighter and tighter. Marina, please. You're all sweaty.
Sorry. I'm just super happy.
She unlatches herself, letting me clear my throat and recollect myself. Anyway, let's get inside. I'm burning up out here. We clamber back inside the motorhome, leaving the dry hellishness behind. I turn the ignition and let the AC blast away the RV's stuffiness. Letting out breaths of sweet relief, Marina and I collapse back onto our seats. All right, so where's the first place of the treasure?
Well...
You have no idea, do you?
That's not true. The news said a part of it was somewhere here in New Mexico. Probably.
Oh, good. We'll just search this entire big square of a state then.
Yeah, I knew you'd get it.
I'm not surprised at all. I should have seen this coming. You have the journal?
Yeah.
She hands the cheap paperback book to me. The cover feels like it could fall apart at the turn of a page. The whole thing is fitting of its rustic design. Peter Noel. Interesting. I slide my thumb across the edges and flip through the pages. Thick forwards and passages commenting on the journal's historical significance skip past my eyes, most long enough to be their own damn book. Finally, a photocopied picture of one of the original entries appears, preserving the faded cursed lettering, the entire thing printed on the next page over. Crusting brown stains and wrinkles engrave the photo. Some of the writing has been scratched out too, like someone made mistakes and couldn't erase them. I hate to admit it, but for something that's probably a sham, the thing looks pretty authentic.
With bounty and satisfaction in hand, I am now homeward bound, the perilous journey forthcoming. Through my unrivaled intellect and unmatched ambition, I have succeeded in accomplishing what many believed would no longer prove profitable. Of course, this only comes as a surprise to those around me, not myself, for I am enlightened by my own intelligence. I had traveled this way on the trail with many others from the Missouri Territory, but as my typical characteristic success grew, I could sense the envious stares amongst my so-called peers. The danger eventually became so great that I wished to flee, but my companions left before I woke. For what reason, you may ask, I do not know. It is with this in mind that I have taken it upon myself to leave a note for one of my fellow prospectors, and to borrow his steed, so that I may one day return to settle with my family. But if this journey has taught me anything thus far, it is that jealous, conniving eyes are abundant.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not reading all this crap. Where should I actually start? Let's see. If you left California, lived in Missouri, and supposedly hit something in New Mexico like Marina said, then what we're looking for is likely a later entry. Here we are.
Alas, I have reached the final point of division in my travels. During my stay among the ruined sanctuary, the rogue native Lamasi had informed me of a landmark that was rich in the mythos of his people. Considered sacred, he said that the chance of the gold being discovered would be very slim. He referred to it as a winged rock, a monument erected toward the sky. After my previous detour, I have finally arrived. It is with much disbelief, I must say. My friend Lamasi was right. It is not just a monument directed toward the sky, it is a mountain. Almost as if the Lord himself had struck up the earth among the sand. It is guarded by trails of rocks around it, all branching from the mother rock. On this journey, I have encountered many different sights, dangers, and, yes, even an occasional friend. As I look upon the mountain before me, I am reminded once more that there are things bigger and greater than I. Although I am not yet rid of this cough, my soul has been humbled and removed of fatigue. I can think of no better place to store the last of my gold, and I anxiously await the day I return. So, what does it say?
You can read it yourself.
I think can is a strong word.
The gist of it is that it's near a big rock and a bunch of little rocks.
Little Rock isn't in New Mexico.
No, it's in Arkansas. Why is that the thing that you know?
Anyway, that should narrow it down, right?
No! Yeah, to the entire freaking state of New Mexico.
The entire state's covered in big and little rocks?
Marina gasps and lunges towards the journal, the muscles in her neck tensed and eyes wide with panic.
That can't be the only thing he mentioned. There has to be more.
I raise the journal high above me so she can't reach it, using my hand as a blockade against her head as she desperately tries to grasp for it. Relax for a second. I actually have a pretty good idea of where it might be. She settles down, still stiff with anxiety, nibbling on the tip of her thumb. I lower the book back down and read over the entry one more time, just to make sure. There's a part where he calls it a winged rock. Assuming my years of reading travel guides and brochures weren't all totally useless, then I'm pretty sure that's a loose translation of what the Navajo used to call Shiprock.
There's a ship out in the desert? Whoa.
Okay, I do not have time to unpack all this. I peer over the journal. Marina's imagination is going bonkers, her eyes alight as she tries to wrap her head around such a novelty even existing. How long have you lived in New Mexico? Marina swells up with pride, only to deflate like a balloon before speaking, instead choosing to blow a misplaced strand of hair out of the way.
All my life.
I sigh and slam the journal shut. It's a small mountain near the border of New Mexico and Utah that's vaguely shaped like a ship.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense.
Surprised you haven't heard of it. The thing's a landmark.
Yeah. But hey, at least I know now.
Cool. Let's not take any time to unpack the fact that I read travel guides for fun. Shrugging, I put away the journal and smirk. Misplaced as it might be, her cheeriness is a good mix-up from the norm.
I just realized it's ducking the soundtrack whenever there would be VAs.
It is. It's totally doing that. Hold on. Can we?
Probably not. It didn't have an option.
Let me try to see if that's an option.
Yeah, it didn't have one.
It doesn't have an option. That's such a good feature to have in literally any other scenario.
It's still good for us.
I guess it's good for us, yeah. But I mean, like, I mix it afterwards in post. So
Yeah.
Still.
Do you think the treasure might be there?
Dunno, but it's worth a shot. We don't have anything else to go on. Sure you don't want me to just take you home? Marina hesitates for a moment, turning to the windshield as if to dodge the question with her eyes.
No, I think I want to do this.
Alrighty then. I put the car in drive and look ahead. The sun has set, the blue shade of dusk rising up to take its place. I press down on the gas. Marina turns to me and smiles. Let's hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back? No more, no.
So
It's gonna be a really long time if you don't actually try to join in on any of this.
So, you know what I just realized? This entire time, Amber's looked really familiar. And then one of the facial expressions in the last scene, I finally got it. Give her a cross-shaped eye patch. Give her a funny looking hat. Explosion!
You think she's Megumin?
She looks like...
Megumin is the first thing that you draw towards.
Yeah, it's the haircut. She has Megumin's haircut.
Oh, she does. Like short in the back, but with the longer side, and okay.
AKA the haircut I normally have.
Yeah, when it's not, The sun has long since set and given way to darkness. Only my headlights remain, illuminating the road and silhouetting the small rock formations around us. I've been alternating between the old tape and the new ones, immediately throwing on the old tape after finishing a new one, and vice versa. I haven't had any complaints from Marina. She's been sitting at my side the entire time, softly humming off key to the music. Quick, what music is she humming to? Hum me something off key that she's... What is she humming to? Really? You think we're listening to Wagner? I'm not saying no. I'm just saying that I didn't take Amber as the Wagner type.
I mean, she doesn't listen to the new tapes normally.
You should see her. You should see the bike she keeps at home. You know what she calls it?
What?
The ring cycle.
That's really funny.
She seems to be the type to just accept things as they are, like with her car being stolen or that treasure. Especially that treasure. To make it worse, it's not just her. Apparently it's some phenomenon now. Just to show how much I keep up with current events. But the whole thing smells like a scam. I bet somewhere all the big shots from that publishing house are gathered up in their corporate tower laughing at all the idiots they've ripped off with that book. Christ, I'm even starting to sound like him. The music turns to static before the cassette is silenced by a loud click. I eject it and reach for his old tape again. Marina notices, taking the opportunity to break the long-held silence.
So, do you like music a lot?
No.
I see.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
I figured you've been playing those tapes this entire time.
Yeah, I got this one rare one. It's called All Lights Fucked on the Harry Amp Drooling.
Good times, good times.
Oh, God. It's my favorite bit of media that will probably never, ever be recovered at this point. She picks up one of the tapes on the center console and inspects it, going so far as to poke her pinky through one of the holes.
Though I'm not sure what you'd call this type of music.
Yeah, I've just been playing whatever. Mostly jazz fusion and alt country. Threw in some new age crap in there for good measure. Ooh, okay, so some of that I recognize.
I see. What an odd blend.
Not really. I could definitely see an overlap between jazz fusion and alt country, especially if you go through bluegrass.
Okay. Okay. Some Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. If you go that direction, I can absolutely see how those could overlap.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Enya.
The Enya is what. Yeah. I don't know why that's on here. That's just completely out from the middle of nowhere. Oh. Freaking Dixie Drags. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fusion country. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's totally stuff that exists.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of these are mixtapes I made when I was little.
Cool. Any names I'd recognize?
She peeks at me through the holes of the cassette, wearing a wide, genuine smile. Probably not.
Yeah, that's fair. Aw, come on, try me.
Why not? Maybe I'm not giving her enough credit. You know, Gabriel, Go To, Weather Report, Donovan, Metheny. Oh, I recognize two of those. I know of Donovan. I don't, but Pat Metheny and Weather Report I definitely listen to.
Is the Gabriel Peter Gabriel?
Is that? Oh, if that's Peter Gabriel, then yeah. Marina gives a sage-like nods and grunts understanding as I lift off the names. You have no idea who any of them are, do you?
Not a clue.
Excellent. That's what I thought.
Sorry, I usually listen to whatever is on the radio.
I crack a slight smile. It's all right. I could see how it might be hard to get into. My gramps used to call it road trip music.
I still think it's nice, though. It's making you really happy.
God, now I want to listen to like Traffic.
We can do that.
Yeah, like John Barleycorn.
Yeah, that's
or,
a possibility for us.
What is it? The low step
Low
of
spark
high
of high heel
low
boys.
spark of high heeled boy. Yeah.
Hashtag not a boomer.
Hashtag not a boomer.
No boomers
Maybe
here.
Tony Williams Lifetime, if we're feeling fancy.
Oh yeah, actually, can we listen to that later?
We can. We absolutely. See, now I'm thinking about all like my old fusion stuff, and I'm like, oh damn, I want to listen.
God, I need to recover my music library and bust out my jazz fusion.
I've also got like some The Nice we can listen to. Hashtag still not a boomer.
Not a boomer.
Did you read Marina's line here?
Yeah.
You think so? She taps her finger gently against my cheek. I pull away a little, but let her do it anyway. Oh, you booped me. That's nice.
Yeah, why else would you be smiling?
I never really thought of whether it made me happy before, but I do know it made him happy, so that's good enough for me. That's actually why I'm going to California. You know, for a music festival.
For real? Where?
Not far from Palm Springs.
Palm Springs? Like the actual Palm Springs?
Don't know if there are any other Palm Springs in California, but yeah, they do it every year for a few weekends.
I went to my first concert a little while ago before I graduated.
She rests her head against the window and stares at the road ahead, her smile fading, but still there.
It was so much fun. An entire weekend of that sounds super awesome.
Nah, it ain't that cool. Marina flings her head away from the window and turns to me. Now she's staring at me like I'm crazy.
How could you even say that? It's the coolest thing ever. I wouldn't even be able to wait. I'd want to see all the bands.
Relax. It's not like I'm taking it for granted. It's just that there's only one group I know I want to see so far. That's right, his favorite group.
Just one?
He was so excited when he got the tickets. Just one that I'm excited for. I'll watch a bunch, though. Releasing a long sigh, Marina eases back into her seat.
Oh, good. I was afraid you were going to head on home after you saw your group.
Not gonna ask me what group it is, huh? That's fine. You crazy? I'd like to have at least a little fun before worrying about all the expenses I gotta deal with.
Expenses?
Damn it! Nothing. She gasps.
Are you in debt? Is it college loans? My brother said those aren't fun to deal with at all.
Got too comfortable. Should have kept my trap shut.
Or did you just spend too much on your ticket?
Without warning, I swerve off to the side of the road and onto the rocky sand, cutting Marina off and nearly giving her a heart attack. Marina shoots me a worried glance, her face still pale.
Oh my god, what was that? Are you okay?
I pinch the bridge of my nose and my elbows on the wheel.
Amber?
I have been driving all day. I'm a little tired.
Where are we?
A little outside Albuquerque, so we aren't too far now. We'll sleep here tonight and drive to Shiprock first thing in the morning. Killing the ignition, I climb out of my seat and into the living quarters. Marina trails behind me. I yank open the bathroom's Velcro latched cupboards. Inside is a folded stack of blanket, sheet pillow, and my old gym clothes from school. I scoop them up and toss them to Marina. She scrambles to catch it, desperately balancing them as they lean out of her arms. Sorry about the clothes. I don't have any actual pajamas. Go sleep on the couch. Folds out into a bed.
Oh, okay.
All right then.
Will you sleep on the couch that folds out into a bed?
No. I will sleep in my bed that folds
Okay.
out into a bed.
Oh, how do I sleep without a big spoon? Will you at least hold my hand? Tell me a bedtime story?
Making some big assumptions that I would be the big spoon. I'll see you again in the morning. And with that, I step into the back room and slam the sliding door before collapsing onto the oversized bed. Even in the darkness, I can make out the pictures hanging on the wall. Once upon a time, they were generic scenic pieces. Now they're photos. Photos of me and Gramps. My favorite one is the one of us in front of a museum for music. Rock and roll, to be specific. I was just a little pipsqueak back then, holding up an autographed vinyl sleeve that was about the size of my head. He was by my side, squatting down and ruffling my hair as I gave the biggest smile I could, even with my missing teeth. I let out a sigh and fixated on the ceiling skylight, a small sliver of the moonlight shining through. Feels like an eternity since I've last laid down in this bed. Remember, it felt like being hugged by a cloud. Now it feels like concrete. Tiny creaks sound from the room next door, accompanied by Marina's little squeaks of determination as she struggles with the fold-out bed. Until finally, I hear a loud thud.
Ah!
I can't help but smirk a little. Should have warned her that it was heavy. The room goes silent. Hope it didn't crush her. Luckily, I soon hear footsteps gather. I'm just going to take another shot at that one. Luckily, I soon hear footsteps tiptoeing across the carpet, then on the bathroom tile. They stop outside my door.
Hey, are you awake?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
Her voice is weak, barely above a whisper. It's almost impossible to hear as it's muffled through the door.
I know I've said it a lot already, but I really mean it. Thanks, Amber. Amber. Good night.
I continue to stay silent. In the dark, the ceiling looks like it's constantly changing in size and dimension, sometimes getting bigger and further away, other times getting closer and smaller. I look down. Through the crack under the door, I can see her shadow turning around to leave. The words slip out of my mouth before she can even take her first step. Night, kiddo. Yeah!
The RV living is giving me extreme childhood summer road trip to Jesus camp vibes.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
Every summer, my mom's side of the family, us and our grandparents would pile in and go on a mobile home road trip over to Jesus camp. Every summer.
How was it? Did you get to meet Jesus?
No.
Oh, I think he'd show up if his name was in it. Most people imagine Indian reservations as tucked away slices of heaven. Maybe some pocketed oasis of vibrant greens and flowing water in what is otherwise a wasteland. Those people are wrong. The Navajo reservation is as sandy and barren as the rest of the desert, and at 22,475 miles, it's neither green nor fun-sized. Not that I hate it. The miles of faded highway roads speed past me, blending together with the sand that stretches out to far-off rigid mountains. Like there's a rhythm to it all. Behind me, Marina is still stretched out on the fold-out bed, cuddling the pillow, a substitute for her blanket that's long since fallen off her bed. My old gym clothes are a little small for her, but the shorts only reaching halfway down her thighs. But hey, I'm not complaining. Soon we're rolling into the town, its jagged namesake peeking over the horizon, Shiprock. The town itself is typical for this desert, nothing fancy like a high-rise, just a whole lot of plain shacks sitting on top of gravel, painted warm browns and beiges. From behind me, there's a light, almost fluffy yawn. I wonder how that bundle of joy handles mornings.
Morning.
Oh, she gets an outfit change. It says Amber on the... Oh, hey, you're finally awake. I mean, they are crossing.
Yeah?
You were trying to cross the border?
Uh-huh.
She yawns again and thumps back against the bed. Guess she's not a morning person. There's still some coffee in the...
Oh, wow, is that Shiprock?
I take it back. Marina rushes behind me, grabs the back of the seats, her eyes sparkling.
It's huge. I can't believe we can see it from so far away.
On closer inspection, my clothes are way too tight for her. My poor shirt is being stretched to its limit. Of course, this doesn't seem to bother her at all. I don't know if I'm more embarrassed for myself or for her.
Anyway, don't talk to me until I've had your coffee.
Well, we have to get moving now, so get dressed or whatever.
Sure thing.
She scampers off to the back, finally giving me room to breathe as I make my way to the driver's seat. Until I accidentally glance at the rearview mirror. In the middle of the motorhome, Marina slips out of her pajamas and into her regular clothes. Jeez, the bathroom is right there. I adjust the mirror and try my hardest to stay focused on anything else I can look at. Actually, how good would a rearview mirror actually be in an RV like this?
Yeah,
you wouldn't have. You've been in motorhomes.
Yeah, it would not be that useful on the inside.
Yeah. So what do you have, like auxiliary ones on the side where your side view mirrors are? Or
I don't know. I don't fucking drive, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm not an expert on car mirrors.
I have not been in many motorhomes, so I never thought to check. Fully dressed, Marina plops back up beside me and settles in the passenger seat. The desolate road continues until suddenly, as if out of nowhere, we're greeted by a line of cars. RVs, buses, and every other kind of vehicle under this blazing sun. All lumped together, stacked one on top of the other, side by side, and every single one blasting their horns. What the...
It was that face was the one that made me think, oh, Megamine.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that. I absolutely see that.
Whoa, you think this is because of the treasure?
I grit my teeth and flop back into my seat. I can only pray these are tourists and I was the only one dumb enough to humor this scam. We're soon assimilated into the traffic jam. Slowly the motorhome inches forward, but when we finally reach the front, a whole new monster awaits us. Laid out in the dirt, barely in the shadow of the looming mountain, is a giant cluster that can only be described as such. Campers, tents, tarps, booths, you name it. A chaotic horde of people crowd around the entire unorganized mess. I cringe at the very sight of it. I am in hell. Marina pushes her face against the window in awe of the sheer insanity.
I don't think I've seen this many people since the concert.
What concert was it you went to again?
You know, the concert. They
Okay.
played music.
Okay, who played?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, she's gonna break from the overstimulation. A choir of horns serenade us from behind. Groaning, I pull forward and squeeze the motorhome into the nearest available space, stuffed tightly between everything else. Backing out is gonna be a real pain.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go find that treasure.
Marina sits up and nearly leaps out of the car, but I grab her wrist and pull her back into her seat. Hold on just a second. Her enthusiasm fades.
Oh, that's right. You were only going to drop me off and leave.
Sorry, but I'm gonna stick around a bit longer.
For real?
She starts sniffling.
You're so nice to me, Amber. I think I might cry.
Don't do it, you'll dehydrate yourself.
Hmm?
Hold it in. We're gonna think of a game plan first.
Hey.
Marina returns to her usual happy-go-lucky self while I grimace at the chaos outside. If I suspend my disbelief and assume the treasure is real, where would we even start? We don't have any equipment. Guess we might as well start by checking out the place. I'm the first to make my way out into the sea of people. My nose is assaulted with smells of campfires and BO masked in suntan lotion. It smells like tourist, all right. Marina finishes her run around the motorhome and huddles close to me, her eyes still wide with wonder, but far less gung-ho than before. The two of us make our way through the makeshift campground, following a guardrail that's been set up to separate visitors from the rock. All the while, we pass different scenes starring all sorts of people. A news anchor elbowing nosy hecklers out of the way while she tries to report. Men on top of motorhomes and lawn chairs strumming away on guitars. Even vendors have set up shop here, selling over-ripened fruit from their booths. Marina is speechless, looking on in overwhelmed curiosity and hovering so close I keep tripping over her. I'm not expecting her to grab onto one of my belt loops. Surprised. I figured to be pretty good with crowds.
Please stay behind the guardrail. I repeat, stay behind the guardrail.
A booming voice shouts over the cackling of a megaphone. Pushing through the crowd, we're shoved into a part of the crowd that's mobbing by an opening in the guardrail. They're barred from advancing by a lone man standing on top of a folding chair and clutching his megaphone like a shotgun.
Stay behind the guardrail. Please be considerate of Navajo land.
What's going on?
Not sure. I think... The sun reflects off of the truck behind it. I squint my eyes at the word printed on the side. Navajo Parks and Recreation. This could get nasty. I also like how they didn't have to draw in all the crowds of people, just like having the crowd noise in the background.
Yeah.
Does that like perfectly. I love it.
Maybe they're moshing? People did that at the concert.
Remind me again, what concert was this?
Yeah, the one I went to.
Okay. What the kind of hell concert did you go to anyway? Wait a second. In the back of the mosh, distant from the calamity, is a familiar sight. Blonde hair intertwined and running through a dark red bandana.
What's wrong?
Remember that loud chick from the gas station?
A little. I was too busy with my slushie to really notice. I miss my slushie. Anyway, why?
I miss your slushy too. Didn't you wonder how it got drank so fast? I think we just found our first lead. My voice trails off as I start towards the girl, pushing my way through the crowd.
Hey, Amber, wait.
Nope. Amber, no. Putting on my person mask, I take a breath.
So relatable.
Right? She mentioned that she mentioned in passing that she thought Marina might be getting overstimulated. So I definitely picking up those kinds of vibes from Amber here. Putting on my person mask, I take a breath and place my hand on her shoulder with a forced smile.
For the last time, old man, I don't have any.
Huh? She whips around, her eyes prepared for murder, but her features switch to a standby mode as she realizes her mistake.
Oh.
Sorry, but didn't I see you at the convenience store yesterday?
Oh yeah, that dumb. Outside of Roswell, right?
Yep, that was us. I'm Amber. The other girl's Marina. Marina waves and I extend my hand. The girl's eyes narrow, but she eventually shakes it with a surprisingly strong grip.
Mariah.
Everyone here for the treasure?
They'd be idiots if they weren't. Hey, what do you know? You were right, Amber.
You say that like it's a good thing.
You guys here for the gold too? Not sure why else somebody would come out.
She looks over the scenery and wrinkles her nose.
To this place.
The ray of sunshine next to me is looking for the gold. I'm just the ride.
Step away from the guardrail. You're all getting out of hand.
The horde presses in and the yelling grows louder.
You aren't getting through, so I don't even know why.
A can of beer flies through the air and cracks him on the forehead, the liquid running down his face.
Oh, come the fuck on.
Navajo Parks and Recreation. They're trying to keep well-meaning treasure hunters from carving up the rock because of its religious significance.
Doesn't surprise me. This is a four-corner state, so there's lots of stuff like that out here.
I think it's sweet that they're trying to protect big ol' Shippy.
You can't ship the rock.
Chippy. He's my friend. I bet you're just jealous that I can make friends with rocks. Only big ones.
What? Why not medium-sized ones?
Yeah, I've tried. It never ends well.
Maria stares at her as if questioning her entire existence.
But it's a rock.
I know, it's a rock. Don't you think I know a rock when I see a rock?
So? It's only good for postcards and carving big monuments. Why is it such a big deal if people want to look for treasure up there?
Well, it's not going to make much of a difference either way.
Why is that? You a non-believer?
Pulls out a gun. No, I'm just not a sucker.
That's not very nice, Amber.
Well, it's true. It's obvious that this is just an elaborate scam and everyone got ripped off. Before I finish my sentence, a cocky, overgrown smile makes its way onto Mariah's face, oozing with snide confidence.
What if I told you I could prove the treasure is real?
I'd say you're full of it.
Does that mean the treasure is real? Like, honest to goodness real? Ooh.
Overwhelmed with excitement, Marina springs up and down, all the while Mariah gives a smug nod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Oh, ye of little faith. I said I could prove it, didn't I?
Okay, prove it. And how exactly are you going to do that?
Come back to my base, full of highly trained elite treasure hunters. Then I'll show you.
Elite what now?
We found some treasure just yesterday. It was green and had 4 wheels. Anyway, highly trained elite treasure hunters.
Did you see that the camera was doing the zoom in on her with each word? Oh, I'm sad. I'm sad that we miss stuff like that when we play games our way, but that's just how it. Oh yeah, it is showing us.
Cool.
Wow. Oh wow, we got a long ways to go. Right. Thanks, but no thanks. We'll pass.
What? But why?
Well, because
you said we needed a game plan, right? This is the best chance we have right now.
Also, why is she trying to prove it so hard to a rando she just met? A terrifying amount of determination emanates from her as she forces an unwavering stare on me. Her gaze intensifies, I look down at my dusty shoes and finally give in. Jeez, if it'll make you that happy, then I'll do it.
Yay!
She's really damn determined, I'll give her that much. I'm not sure I could have said no. But this better be legit, you hear? I point to Mariah. I am not in the mood to be jerked around today.
Yeah, I'll keep my word.
Hey, stop it!
We look back to the crowd. The guardrails have toppled over and the crowd surged toward the man.
I'm warning you, stay back. I have a megaphone.
The crowd circles in around the chair and topples it over, the man crashing down with it.
We should probably scram.
Way ahead of you. Sleek and lavish, Mariah's motorhome is like a mansion on wheels. Its chromy, black paint is so fresh that you can practically smell the primer.
Here we are. Bass, sweet bass.
She throws the door open.
Joe, Tess, buck up. We have gas.
Marina and I shoot each other an unsure glance, then enter the motorhome.
Oh, hey! You finally managed to make some friends?
I
Blow it
love
out.
the reggae.
Blow it out your ass, slacker.
It's just as big and expansive on the inside, making my RV look like a toilet in comparison. It's definitely a luxury class, unlike my Class C. Or at least it would be a luxury motorhome if not for the seemingly random decor. The walls littered with posters of ska bands, the worst genre of music.
Oof.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie, though?
All of it.
Yeah? Well, you're going to have to show it to me because I can't quite pick it up.
Ska is fun. It makes you want to pick it up.
Did you not catch the thing?
What?
I said, I don't see where the problem is. You're going to have to show me so I can pick it up.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Okay. Listen. I'm extending an olive branch here, okay? Even weirder are the license plates scattered everywhere. Some in boxes, some on the table, and some strung together like a wind chime. A beanbag in the corner and bottles of empty beer and liquor cast off on the ground. The place looks more like a frat pad than a base. An impression further aided by the guy sprawled out on the couch, his head wrapped in a bandana like Mariah's.
Someone's feisty today. No luck with the treasure, I take it.
Yeah, no thanks to you.
Hey now, me and Tess were holding down the fort. It's a very important job. We made it out of pillows. It's a pillow fort.
He gestures at the cot above him, a hollow space under some cabinets. Looks like a row of cupboards used to be there and were stripped out to make room for it. Lying on top of it is a little girl facing the other direction, fiddling with something I can't make out. She's wearing another identical bandana.
Is that right, Tess?
Oh my god, the smaller version. Tess gives a barely existent nod, then continues tinkering.
See, what'd I tell you?
Has she been like that the entire time?
Yep, she hasn't moved since you left this morning. It's kind of sad.
Please, don't think I haven't noticed you were on that couch when I left.
Guilty as charged.
I clear my throat, reminding them of our presence.
All right. This is my team. The lug who's become one with the couch is Joseph, and the squirt is my kid sister Tess. Joe, Tess, this is Alyssa and Milena.
Close enough. Amber and Marina.
Whatever. They're looking for the treasure too.
Hey there, ladies.
Can only hope that the highly trained elite team are hidden in the bathroom.
Hey, I'm Marina. It's really nice to meet you.
Marina jumps in front of me, taking a hold of the conversation by its throat.
The other girl is Amber. Say hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Don't mind her. She's just grumpy.
I am not grumpy.
You sound pretty grumpy to me.
I groan and start muttering nonsense under my breath. Didn't think being a realist would make me grumpy.
She doesn't think the treasure exists.
Uh-oh. Mariah, we got another non-believer in our midst.
Why do they keep saying that?
Why do you think I brought her here? All right, everybody, pull out your study Bibles.
Oh no. If you think you'll be able to convince me that this treasure is real, then fine, but you have another thing coming.
Didn't you know the true treasure is stored up in heaven?
I see I've made a grave miscalculation today.
Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
Back in Albuquerque.
Oh, we should pick it up on the way.
Back in my motorhome. We can take you and your sense of adventure back to Carlsbad if you want.
No thanks.
Carlsbad, California.
New Mexico. Rolling her eyes, Mariah walks over to a drawer. From inside, she pulls out something wrapped in a cloth and brings it over to me.
Go ahead. Take a peek.
Her smirk reappears, curling across her face as if this were a game, and there's no way she could lose. Hesitant, I bring my hand up to the rag and unwrap it. What? No way. Is this...
That's right.
Lying swaddled in the cloth is a yellow nugget. I give it a squeeze. It's soft. Definitely not a piece of pyrite.
It's gold.
But how?
You know the miner who hid the treasure? That's Joseph's great-great-uncle.
Okay, but it's just a random piece of gold. You could have gotten that from any... You could order that on eBay.
Wait, you could just get it on eBay? Shit.
You're lying.
Why'd we come out here for?
I can testify for that. It's super true.
This thing is a family heirloom.
Well, like it was lying forgotten in my basement until we stumbled across it as kids.
After that, I heard great tales of the miner and his hidden treasure.
She went to the library and found the old newspaper clippings making fun of him.
Then I made it my life's goal to find his treasure.
She's been obsessed with it ever since. Help.
That's a load. I saw you at the store yesterday. If you know so much about the treasure, then why did you just have to buy one of those journals?
This time my family probably got the journal after he kicked it. We didn't hear about it until everyone else did.
That doesn't prove anything. Mariah shoots me a scowl similar to the look she gave to the clerk yesterday.
What are you trying to say? You want to die?
This conversation took a turn.
Sis.
Tess finally moves, hopping down from her cot, another license plate wind chime in her hand, the plates clanking together as she runs over to Mariah.
Sis, I finished it.
She says this without a hint of emotion, her eyes in a constant, half-open state. It's kind of unsettling.
How many is that now? 44?
45.
Marina bends down to Tess's level and greets her.
Oh, are you collecting license plates? Uh-huh. I only have 5 more until I have all 50 states. And what state do you have there? New Mexico.
Her voice and expression don't change, still as dry as the desert air. Mariah scoffs.
At least yesterday wasn't a complete waste of time. That junker was a piece of crap.
Wait a second.
All the parts were rustier than my ass, which is pretty rusty. Fucked up, right? Even the scrap metal wasn't worth it.
Did I call it right?
But think when we found it, we'd be buzzed if I hadn't salvaged the good bits. Besides, that money goes to keep us from starving.
I look at Marina, but she doesn't seem to have put it together. About that car you found. That wasn't outside Roswell, was it? Marina's eyes go wide, realization finally penetrating her skull.
Yeah, not too far from the store. What do you care?
I can feel my blood begin to boil. Marina can feel it too.
Amber.
Every part of me is shaking. I struggle to spit out the words. Her car was stolen just outside of Roswell yesterday. It was out of gas, so we went to get some. Joseph is the next to realize it, followed by Tess.
Oh, crap.
So?
I can't hold it in anymore. Sorry, Marina. So, you stole her goddamn car and dismantled it. Joseph jumps off the couch and apologetically bows repeatedly, all in one swift motion. Each bow makes me a little bit angrier.
Joey said it was okay.
I thought it was. Mariah gave me the go-ahead.
You told them it was all right?
Yeah, so it's your own fault for leaving it out there.
How? How on earth is it our fault that it broke down?
You know, finders keepers.
It's a freaking car!
Not anymore.
That's not the part I'm having an issue with! Tess tugs on my shirt. What? I don't mean to, but the word snaps out of my mouth. The tiny girl shirks away. All right, Amber, just calm down. We can talk this out.
Here.
She holds out the wind chime made of Marina's license plate. her eyes cast downward.
You can have it.
Never mind. Calming down is not going to happen. A hand grasps my shoulder. I turn to Marina. She shakes her head and smiles.
Amber, it's okay.
But...
Really, it's fine.
She bends back down to Tess and smiles reassuringly.
You go ahead and keep it, sweetie.
The trio, Mariah included, are taken aback by Marina's saint-like action.
Don't worry, guys, it's fine.
Joseph breathes a sigh of relief. Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, God, thank you so much.
We're all really, really sorry about this, right, Marina? Right, Mariah?
Yeah, I guess.
About as fed up with this as I am, Joseph shoots her a glare and smacks her on the back of the head.
Ow, all right, I'm sorry and stuff. Gee.
Marina, are you sure? They destroyed your car.
Yeah, but it was pretty run down anyway. Besides, if I had a dime for every time I've destroyed my car...
How many dimes would you have?
Is
it more than one?
The mystery.
You are unreal. You know that?
I'm not
Anyway,
real?
Oh my,
Is this a Sixth Sense situation?
my God.
Oh,
Anyway, we
fuck.
should head out now. We have a few things to take care of.
Thanks for showing us the gold. Now I'm sure the treasure is real.
No problem, ladies. Again, really sorry for all the trouble. If there's anything we can do for you, just give us a shout.
Sure thing.
We head for the door, but Marina turns around before stepping outside.
By the way, was there a phone in the car?
The pink Hasey? I don't know that.
Yeah, that's the one.
Kind of sold that too.
It feels like the page is staring back at me. In fact, at this point, it probably is. My gaze drifts from the journal to the window by the entrance. Marina's outside twirling the payphone's cord as she pops in another quarter. What year is this that a payphone still exists? I'm trying to think of the last time I think the last time I ever used a payphone was in high school.
Yeah?
Because we still had the one payphone, because that was still before cell phones were predominant, but like it could be reasonably expected that you might not have one.
Mm-hmm.
And there was still that payphone on the main drag downtown. You know the one I'm talking about?
Is that not still there?
No, it is not still there.
Huh.
It hasn't been there for years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not like I worked in that area or anything and should have noticed that.
I mean, it's out of the way. Why would you even think about it? But yeah, no, there is not a payphone downtown anymore.
Huh.
I don't know. My gaze drifts from the journal to the window by the entrance. Marina is outside, twirling the payphone's cord as she pops in another quarter. She bites her lips and looks through the window. Our eyes meet. She sends me a small, anxious wave. Closing the book, I let out a yawn and remove my head from my fist. I'm sure there's a red imprint on my cheek. Figuring out we had to go to Shiprock was the easy part. Everything else has been a gigantic pain in the ass. There's a rush of precious gold air getting sucked from the building. Marina enters, carefully shutting the door and taking the seat opposite me in the booth. So, how'd it go?
It went fine, I guess.
Parents okay with all this?
Maybe not okay,
A smile creeps onto her face.
but they understand.
At least someone gets it, because I still freaking don't.
They weren't happy about the car, though.
Yeah, I can imagine not. I think you were the only person that was.
How couldn't I be? Mariah showed us that the treasure is real.
You are going to believe the people who stole your car?
It was an accident. They didn't mean to. Besides, they're nice.
Before I can argue further, our waitress emerges from the kitchen, carrying our order. A hot black coffee for me, a milkshake for Marina, and a large order of fries for us both. Marina's eyes brighten at the sight of the shake. Like with the slushie, her sweet tooth takes control of her and she practically starts drooling over the glass. With a nod, the waitress disappears back into the kitchen.
Thanks for the food, by the way.
It's not like I really had a choice. I could hear your stomach from the driver's seat. I wasn't about to let you starve to death on my watch. Plus, I was getting pretty hungry too. Amazingly, Marina didn't freak out at the sight of the diner, like she was everything else so far. I was genuinely shocked when I didn't hear a gasp of awe escape her mouth as we pulled up.
Hey, Amber, why didn't you get a shake too? Coffee and fries don't really go together, don't you think?
I'm fine. I don't really like sweet things.
But it's super good, especially when you dip your fries in it.
You dip your fries in your shake?
You don't?
No, I don't.
That's what McDonald's shakes are for.
She takes several. McDonald's shakes are far too viscous to even get the fries inside of them. You ever tried to dip a fry in a McFlurry? It just bounces off.
Not a McFlurry, a shake.
Oh my god. There's a difference?
Wait, isn't there? Isn't the McFlurry the ice cream thing? And the shake a different thing?
There is a difference.
Okay.
I was trying to make a joke.
Okay.
You didn't pick up what I was putting down. So
I
now,
didn't.
Here we are in this. Now it's just kind of awkward for everyone. How's your day, Ben? She takes several of the fries and does just that, dipping them in the shake like it was ketchup or mustard. That is silly. I can do the same thing with my coffee. Taking a fry and dunking it into my coffee and take a bite. Oh, wow.
What if it's good?
Who knows? Maybe it is. That was a bad idea. Grimacing, I placed the rest of the fry on my napkin as I try to cope with the cold, chill, and sulfury aftertaste.
Maybe it would work better if you put creamer in
Maybe it would
it?
work better if I drank my coffee like it was fucking coffee. Somehow, I doubt that. Besides, it would just ruin the coffee.
I don't know how you can even drink it without cream or at least a little sugar. It's so bitter.
It's an acquired taste. You find flavor in the bitterness.
That's why I think it's weird that you drink something like that.
Oh my god. How do you mean?
I don't know.
Her brow furrows deep in thought.
You always seem so yes or no about stuff.
I have no idea what you mean by that.
If you like something, then you do. If you don't like something, then you don't.
You're losing me, Mare.
I have a nickname now?
Don't read into it. I just don't want to give you the effort of all the syllables.
Oh, that's fine. What did Mom used to tell us when we didn't listen to her? Oh, yeah. Basically, you have a really thick head, Amber.
I nearly spit the coffee out of my mouth. Gee, thanks.
Or was it a thick skull? Whatever, you know what I mean, right? You're thick.
I think so. I have a general idea of what it is you are trying to say. Wasn't really an acquired taste for me, now that I think about it. Maybe I always liked the bitterness. Or maybe I just convinced myself that I did. I don't know. Is that a bad thing? Just like in Mariah's RV, Marina shakes her head and gives me a sweet, genuine smile.
I don't think so. I actually really liked it. It reminds me of Shiprock.
You are not friends with The Rock.
I am now.
Oh, look, there's one of the diner pictures in the background. Is the
Yeah.
Shiprock. I wonder if these are some of the other backgrounds that'll be used throughout the...
Could be.
I wonder if the game is being cute like that. A warm, tickling sensation bubbles up in my chest. It forces me to smile, but I play it off all cool and breezy like. I remind you of a rock? You shouldn't say that kind of thing. People might think they're insults. Satisfied with how well I played that off, I reach for a fry to reward myself, but instead of hot, crispy goodness, something smooth brushes against my fingertips. I gaze down at the plate of fries. Marina's hand, for a split second, rests below mine.
Hand-holding alert! Hand-holding alert!
Hand-holding alert! Did you see them both switch to panic mode? We instinctively snap back. Marina's face is a bright shade of pink, and mine is probably
Can't
similar.
believe we're getting to the explicit stuff in episode 1.
For the rest of this episode, let's make sure you have a parental advisement. In fact, just if you have any kind of advisement, if you're not an adult, you shouldn't be watching this. Hand holding might give you terrible ideas. My God.
Full frontal hand-holding.
Full frontal hand hold. What? Oh my God, we're doing it right now in real life.
Oh no, it's spreading.
Sorry. The room feels 10 degrees hotter. We try to reestablish eye contact, but our glances shoot off in other directions as soon as we meet.
Hey, Amber.
That's my name. I managed to compose myself long enough to look back.
You said something about bills and expenses last night, right? I don't know what exactly you meant by that or what it is you have to pay off, but since we know the treasure is real now, I was wondering. Maybe you might think about sticking around to look with me? We could even split it or something.
Well, first off, we don't even know if the treasure is actually real. Mariah could be pulling our legs. My coffee is mostly gone. All that's left is a puddle and a few stray grounds. I'll think about it, though.
Really?
I only said I would think about it. Don't get too excited just
I
yet.
am constitutionally incapable of following that advice. I won't. I just think it'd be super cool.
Marina flops her chin down and rests on the table.
How's it going anyway? Have you figured out where the first part of the treasure might be?
No luck. It's not like the guy drew a map or anything. He just jotted down details about the places he went to. That and rambling about how awesome he was.
You think Mariah was right and he hit it on top of old Shippy?
Don't listen to Mariah, okay? She doesn't know what she's talking about. Think about it. How would he even scale the mountain? He was traveling solo on horseback. I doubt he would have even had the tools to do it. And even if he did, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have gone on. And even if he did, I'm pretty sure he would have gone on and on about it in his journal. The puppy dog whine. Marina frowns.
Are you sure he didn't mention anything else? Maybe something we didn't catch.
I slide the book across the table over the leftover crumbs, stretching out my stiff joints as I rest against the booth. Take a look if you want. My eyes are going to start bleeding if I read it again. The only things he really mentioned are the rocks and the dikes around it. Not that kind.
Oh.
Marina forces herself to stare down at the plate, the blush from earlier reappearing. Oh? Oh. No, not like that. I stifle a giggle. Teasing her is going to be a blast.
I see.
I mean the rocks that branch out from the mountain. That's what they're called. Huh. It's so simple, but it makes sense. I shoot up and throw down some money. Marina jumps at the sound of the table rattling.
What's the matter? Did you figure out where it is?
Maybe. At least a general area. I march towards the door. The table rattles again as Marina leaps up. She stays behind to straighten it out before scrambling to catch up with me.
We're going now?
Hell no, we don't have any equipment. But we know someone who does. I shove the door open, the last bastion between refreshing air and burning dry heat. Come on, let's go cash in a favor. And if you want to find out what that favor is, you'll have to join us next time. Next time? Next time. Oh, well, I mean, you could also read what's on screen right now, but don't.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.